getting some unusually strong thunderstorms for January 12th all throughout right now.
You live in California now?
What do they call that? Not the thermal river. It was something.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. There was an oral rain was one of the things. Like there's all these weird phrases for it.
Although not passive aggressively, passively, I'm typically passive aggressive, but passively. So there's a website, if you just Google, it's like California Drought Monitor. It shows you like their drought because they've been in like a very serious drought. Now this is this is solving a spider in your house by burning it down sort of scenario, but you can watch over the past couple of weeks like how it's starting to kind of get out.
Yep. Yeah, solving your problem with a fire hose.
Realistically, it's like, oh, you needed some water. Here's some water. Like,
yeah, you want some water? Exactly. Let's unleash the dam. Yeah.
I'll be curious to see if Lake Mead. Benefits from any of this.
Is that anywhere near where this stuff's happening?
Well,
Lake Mead is on the border with Arizona, isn't it? Nevada,
I mean, you got to get the rain over the mountains, which might be sort of the problem. Because I would imagine, like, once it's on the other side of the mountain, the rain then flows towards.
Just kind of gets down there, yeah, right.
Somehow.
I thought it was fun seeing the bottom of that lake. You sure you want to reverse that?
I mean, we found a lot of old friends.
There's a lot of gangster bodies.
Yeah, there was a lot going on out there.
Yep.
There's also a lot going on in the App Store, where Apple Music, TV, and some other stuff are launching in preview. And Paul, I believe they are actually using WinUI 3. I might be wrong, but I look like initially.
So I installed two of them, Apple TV Plus and Apple Music. It's very reminiscent of iTunes on Windows, from 10, 15 years ago, in the sense that it's like it looks like a Windows app, but then there are little Appleisms in there and stuff. And there's some some disconnects with reality. It's like I go to play a song and it says this computer must be authorized before you can play a song. And I click OK. I go to play the song again. It says this PC must be authorized before you can play a song. I'm like, okay, but it doesn't bring me to the place to authorize it. So I'm like, okay. I look into settings. I'm like, there's nothing in there about authorization. Remember, it used to be like a menu thing in iTunes,
Yep.
I'm like, it's got to be here somewhere. And then in the bottom left of the window, there's my name because you have to sign into it, right? So I click my name, and one of the options that comes up on the menu is authorize this device. It's like, right. Why wouldn't you have brought me there when you told me it wasn't authorized? But anyway, honestly, once you get past like that kind of silliness, these apps are fine. I mean, they're good. Played a couple of movies, didn't play full movies. I just kind of played through them. I like the, we don't have Macs here, right? So we're not Mac people, but the style of window that you get with a movie, which will change, aspect ratio depending on the movie, is very reminiscent of playing movies like in QuickTime or whatever on the Mac. And it's nice. Like it's, obviously you can go full screen, but I mean, like I played Alien Covenant is this like super widescreen. It's like this crazy widescreen window. But I don't know. I think it looks good.
I'm having the internal fight of like, we've talked about this. Like, am I going to go to Apple Music from Spotify?
Yeah.
And it pains me to do this because I typically like supporting the smaller player.
But why would you go to Apple Music? Like, what would be the allure?
Because, on the backside, we're also paying for Apple TV. And we're also paying for like 200 gigs of iCloud storage.
Okay.
And
you
if we switch our plan on Verizon to something more expensive, then we get, it's like, it's worse than credit card points.
I don't know. So I would investigate such things as whether Apple TV support. Well, because you have an iPhone, so it doesn't really matter. So you can play from Apple TV to Sonos, so that should be fine.
You're hitting on the one thing that is holding me back is that Spotify Connect, where in the Spotify app on my PC, I can just pick the speakers and be done.
Yep. So this doesn't help you, but Amazon and Google just announced it. What's that? Welcome to the So at CES, Google announced they're bringing Spotify Connect functionality basically to YouTube Music and then to other apps through their new media player applet thing that appears in a notification shade. So that may help me in the future. I don't go to Spotify because I pay for YouTube Music, right? But there are two things about it that put it over the top for me. One, you can bring in videos from YouTube into music playlists, which is incredible. There's lots of live shows and things like that.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I love that. And then The other one is you get YouTube Premium as part of it, right? So for $10 a month, I get no ads in YouTube, and I get the entire YouTube Music library in addition to the YouTube Music library, if that makes sense to anybody. So that's my thing. But you're not using YouTube Music, so
No, but I should, because I watch enough YouTube that.
Oh, you got to do the ad free. I mean, I suppose depending on how you watch those videos, there are ways around this, right? I mean, there are ad blockers and things.
There are, but
I just don't even understand what ads on YouTube are. Like, so I visit my friends in Boston. I'm hanging out on the couch, or he's clicking around YouTube, and he's like sitting there waiting for ads to play. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, see, that's me.
Yeah, that's the normal experience, actually. So
right. Well, the thing that will get me over the hump, and I would happily pay for no ads, and maybe that's what I'll just go do today. Who knows? Yeah. Is I watch. There's a ton of good documentaries on.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, I've been watching a bunch.
But they're all filled with freaking ads, like every 4 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, I've watched several since not since the beginning of the year, but since the beginning of December. I've watched probably 7 or 8 nutrition, health, whatever like full length movie, like documentaries, like really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. No, I don't know. YouTube is in many ways contributes to our declining attention spans, but then again, they have this long form content as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's.
Yeah.
Whatever.
There's a lot of things to pay for if you want to. That's the beauty of our world. Ugh.
If there's something you don't like, money can sometimes solve it.
Yeah, money can solve the problem. Yeah. Sure. Just watch White Lotus. You'll know money solves all problems. Don't ever watch White Lotus, by the way. I mentioned this to you already.
Yes, you did mention this.
Don't do it.
Yeah. Things
Actually,
that people aren't spending money on, though.
White Lotus. If there's Ted Lasso on the one end of the spectrum of nice, wholesome, funny, enjoyable content, and then White Lotus is what sits on the other end of that, right before pornography and the violence porn type stuff or whatever. It's like those are the two ends of the, feel good about yourself when you're done, question all of your values when you're done. Those are the two that's the spectrum. Sorry.
Anyways, PC sales fell. Just a shocking 0% of zero people.
Right. So I haven't gone and done this yet. I should have done it as part of this article, but a lot of people have said PC sales only fell 16%. They're at the same level they were 2 years ago. That was during the pandemic when things were shooting through the roof. This is way better than I thought it was going to be. And it's like, you're not paying attention. So PC sales fell 20-something% in each of the last 2 quarters, and it's getting worse each quarter. So the reason it's only 16% for the year is that we were still kind of in that pandemic buying frenzy in the first quarter and sort of the second quarter. PC sales are going down. So
all you got to do is look at Intel and AMD. It's not.
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing is when PC sales fall 28% in a holiday quarter, that's like falling 50%. That's the quarter where they make up for the whole year. And so I feel like people have a little disconnect there with what's really happening. So plus it's only 1 year. We shot up during the pandemic and now we're shooting down. The question is, does this year we're in now, does it keep going at a really sharp spike? Does it level off? We'll see, but
well, we're going to go through the wave of the PC is dying, the PC is over, the PC is dead, and then we'll get a few years.
Not that extreme view.
It'll jump back.
It's where does it bottom out and where does it level off?
Yeah.
I used to call this the plateau, right? And so I don't remember anymore, but 3-4 years ago, call it the year before the pandemic, maybe 2019, I think, just off the top of my head, PC sales actually had a little blip up. It was like 1%, 2%, something. And it's like, guys, there you go. There's your little plateau. I mean, you're going to have ups and downs. I mean, that's fine. But what's the level? I don't think the level is where we are right now. I think it's lower. Right? I do think we're going to go kind of back to true pre-pandemic levels. And that's still still a big market. PCs are not going away. It's not the Chicken Little thing. I think we've been trained that everything is black and white, everything is horrible or excellent, everything is Ted Lasso or White Lotus. That's what I just said. But the truth is, there's a whole world in the middle. PC is the White Lotus.
Is it?
No.
Waiting for that. How does Weasel like meat into this?